Hey folks, I am going live once again to share some interesting information here. This is called the number one tool for a fulfilling life. So what I'm going to share here are some realizations that I've had over the past couple years, which have really revolutionized my life. And so what I'm going to start off with is how our society is so obsessed with getting new things. So literally the entire global economy runs on everyone just wanting new things, constantly needing new things, new clothes, new experiences, new this, and this. So everyone's just like craving new things. And our whole global society is built on infinite economic growth, which is powered by us needing new things. And so advertisers literally spend billions of dollars um, programming us to constantly believe that we need that next new thing. So McDonald's is telling us you need to come try this new hamburger, and beauty products. It's like if everyone just felt they were beautiful already inside, then they probably wouldn't need a zillion and a half beauty products all the time. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on people that like beauty products, but I'm just saying that our entire economy is based on us constantly needing new things. And so one day I was meditating and I was like, well, why do we constantly crave new things? And what I believe is that if you meditate on the infinite nature of the universe is actually this infinitely magical fractal that has, like, infinite intricacies. And so in order for us to, and we are fractals of this, we are smaller versions of the universe. We're like mini universes. And so our true nature is infinite, and so we crave this connection to a sense of infinite, and to a sense of infinity. And so that manifests as us wanting new things. It manifests as us wanting things that have recently come into being. There's like so much kind of subtle judgment against things that are old. It's like, oh, look at that old shirt. He's had that for years. It's like it's not new. It's not cool if it's not new. We've been so brainwashed to think that only new things are good and old things are not so good. And so the reason for this, I believe, is because we're desiring to be connected to a sense of infiniteness, of expansion. And so we've had this healthy desire for new experiences and new thoughts and new input, new sensory input. But so many of us are like trapped in these cycles of repetition. Scientists say we have like 70,000 thoughts a day, and they've studied that many of these thoughts are like basically the exact same thoughts every day. People are, thinking, oh, I gotta wake up, oh, I gotta make coffee, oh, I gotta get ready for work, oh, I gotta go to work, I gotta do basically the same thing at work, and I gotta go home. It's like we have these like repetitive thoughts when like our true nature is tapped into infinity, and every day we could be having new exciting thoughts and creating new neural networks in our mind. And that's what I really believe our true potential is. um so Jessica, thanks for tuning in. Thanks other people for tuning in now and in the future. This message I'm really excited about, so I'm just going to keep flowing. So we have this desire for new experiences, and capitalism kind of jumps in and like co-ops that, and it's like you have this new desire for like cool new experiences, but we're just going to convince you to buy clothes and go shopping to satisfy this craving. But it never actually satisfies it. It's like you go shopping and you spend $200, and then you're like, oh, well, this is kind of cool, but I just, it's not really getting to the core. And what I really believe we're craving is like full activation of our potential and our flow state. And that is found through creativity and through like interesting experiences that are natural and are like in the present moment, like feeling fully alive. Like I invite you to meditate for a moment and just think, like, when were the times when you felt most fully alive? And for me, like, a lot of times it's at when I'm at like a festival, when I'm at a music show, when it's like I'm like getting full of like fresh life force energy and it's beautiful, or I'm out adventuring in nature. Like, those are the times when I feel most fully alive. And also I feel most fully alive when I'm like doing something creative, when I'm making music with people, when I'm performing on stage, spoken word or singing. It's like those are the times when you feel most fully alive, and I feel like that's what everyone is really craving deep down. But capitalism comes in and tries to fill that void with clothes and shopping and stupid distractions and addictions and stuff. And on a side note, I think that, and this ties in. So I'm saying we're craving new things. Newness is like a quality of the infinite. And so whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, whatever, it's like we want to be connected to that feeling of infinity. And that I believe is our core desire, but instead we try to fill that void with something that will numb us, or something that will sort of fill that void. But like in the 12 step program, they often say like they say there's a God shaped hole in you and it can only be filled by God. But if you try to fill it with alcohol, it doesn't fit the hole, and it's not what you really need. And I resonate with that. I know not everyone identifies with the word God, but I call it like infinity. We want this connection to the infinite. And so how do we actually tap into that? That's what my whole life is about. That's what my book Unlocking Our Superpowers is about all the way we can tap into our natural superpowers. And so in this book I talk about what is the true nature of creativity. And so when you think about, to use another Christian reference, in the Bible they talk about creation, like God created the world in 7 days and it was good, and on the seventh day he rested. And so, water break. Yeah, God took a water break on the seventh day. But anyways, we talk about creation, and you kind of subtly think about creation as like a past tense thing. It's like creation was created back then, and now we're just kind of continuing that creation. But I believe the real form of creation is like this. It's almost like a fountain of creation that's happening every single moment. Like literally this exact millisecond, there's like stampedes happening on the safaris of Africa, and there's babies being born, 40,000 babies being born like this exact millisecond, and there's, magical things happening and terrible things happening. It's all happening right now. And it's like this infinite fountain of creation. It's like things are coming from the quantum field of infinite possibilities. They're coming into existence. They're existing for a while, and then they're like dissolving back into that quantum field of infinite possibilities. And so that is what creation is happening every single moment. It's not like a past tense thing that God created in the past. And so I believe that because we are connected, we are part of creation, we also have a desire to be in that flow of creating new things, bringing things into being. And if we're not doing that, then I feel like we're going to feel slightly like something's missing, something's out of alignment. And so what I encourage you to do is experiment, try to figure out ways that you can get into that flow state of creating, of bringing things into being. I call it like turning the ideal into the real deal. And if you're interested, I have a whole chapter in my book which is like the formula for turning your visions into reality. And so this is a super, super important thing, because I believe that it taps into our desire for newness. We have this desire for new things. And so many of us are so bored and so cynical and so everything because we're just getting basically the same bullshit over and over again. So I encourage you to find new things that actually stimulate you, new podcasts, new information, new art. There's literally like all these pages on Instagram and Facebook of just like amazing. The term is called visionary art. It's just like amazingly inspiring visionary art. Getting in tune with new music. If you check out our website, teampachamama.net, I'll post that in the comments. We have some great music recommendations on that. I make music myself. There's plenty of amazing musicians out there. So it's like we have this desire to be stimulated with new information because we want to tap into that sense of infinite. We don't want to be stuck in this finite loop of boring, repetitive nature, because that's not our true nature. Our true nature is fucking being infinite, creative beings. And the more that we create, the more that we all empower ourselves to become co-creators of the world that we want to live in, the more we will see changes happen in the world. The reason why, we are where we are today is because so many of us have been conditioned to only be consumers. We're just constantly taking in whatever the TV gives us, whatever this gives us. But in reality, we are creators. We can bring new things into being. So like whatever you are, I'm going to speak to you, and whatever your doubts are in your mind, like you don't have to believe those doubts. You can believe that you have infinite potential within you, and you can birth things into existence, because that is your nature as a mini freaking universe. So if you want to live a fulfilling life, the bottom line is you have to be tapped into that newness, that fresh energy that is the life force of creation, and a part of that is being in tune with your own body's energy. My book, Unlocking Our Superpowers, is all about like how to heal your mind and body, because if we're out of tune with our own bodies, then it's going to be hard to get into that creative flow. And so, a huge way that I do this every day, which is a simple way you can take action, is going barefoot in grass or a very natural surface, ideally grass, because you can discharge whatever energy is like stagnant in you. If you start doing yoga and dancing and moving while you're barefoot in the grass, you're basically like discharging whatever stagnancy you have within you, and you're also taking in fresh negative electrons from Mother Earth, which are healing to your body. And so it's like you empty out your channel and you become fresh again, and you can have new inspiration, new insights for ideas, for projects. This is like what I do at least twice a day, because it re-energizes me to do my next thing. And that's another random thing. Like, I'm all about creating new language and new concepts. Instead of a to-do list, I call it my flow list. Every day I tap into my flow list, and it creates more of like a harmonious energy relationship with whatever tasks I have to do. And it creates it more of like this flow. It's like I'm surfing this wave throughout the day. It's like, okay, I gotta go to the bank, I gotta go grocery shopping, I gotta do a session, I gotta call my friend, I gotta do this. And it creates like this flow state throughout your day. It doesn't have to be like this drudgery to-do list. A lot of our experience is just the attitude and the mind frame that we take into something. So anywho, that's the main download I wanted to share. So every day I challenge you to go barefoot for at least 10 minutes in the grass. That's like the baseline challenge. I usually spend at least an hour barefoot in the grass every day, doing yoga, doing strength training, doing all kinds of stuff. And another key is like doing it in the morning, like having the start of your day as ideal as possible, because like the first 30 minutes every day set the tone for the whole rest of your day, which taps into what I posted this morning about the documentary on Netflix. If you have Netflix, definitely check out The Social Dilemma. It's all about how basically all of our social media is just like begging for our attention all the time, and we become like totally glued and addicted to our technology. So we need to develop a new healthy relationship with that, and part of it is not doing it in the first 30 minutes of your day. Instead, focusing on your mind and body and your health and your intentions, alignment, like aligning yourself with how you want to go throughout the rest of your day is crucial. So if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to write a comment. I'm going to stick on here for maybe 3 more minutes. Or if you're watching this in the future, you can leave a comment or question anyway. If this is landing with you, if this is resonating with you, please post a scoobly doo or something in the comments. And yeah, so just to recap, like we all crave a sense of newness. We all crave new neural pathways. That's something I want to mention that I didn't. So I feel like our brains have like infinite capacity for neurogenesis, which is like building new brain cells, which is important to eat lion's mane mushrooms. Those are great. If you need some good lion's mane mushroom powder, check out mushroomharvest.com. I'll put that in the comments. Bum, bada, bum. They have the best lion's mane mushroom powder, in my opinion, and that is great for growing new brain cells. Scoobly doo to you, brother. Thank you. So yeah, check out lion's mane mushroom powder. So yeah, what I want to say is that we have this desire for newness, and so to be tapped into like the true power of creation, which is bringing new things into existence every fucking millisecond, you want to be like creating new neural networks. And the neural networks, you could imagine, like if you ever go skiing, people like go down the main path and it creates like these grooves in the path. But if you wanted to create a whole new path, you have to like drudge through like 3 feet of snow, and it's more difficult. So that's like creating new neural networks. It can sometimes be hard at first, but if you create affirmations, which is another thing from my book that I highly recommend, is creating affirmations which lead you in the direction that you want to go in. Those can become like these new neural pathways, because literally most of our thoughts have been programmed from age 0 to 7. We're like a sponge. We're just absorbing our parents' thoughts and society's thoughts. And so now as adults, it's pretty much mandatory. We have to like look at our thoughts and be like, oh shit, I don't agree with this anymore. I don't think I'm a terrible person. I'm going to start doing affirmations to reprogram my brain. And it is totally possible. Like some people hate on affirmations, but like affirmations have fucking changed my life a million times over, and a lot of other people have similar experience. My friend here is saying, I love my morning time, and I wrote affirmations that I say first thing in the morning. Yeah, that's what's up. I like to sing my affirmations, which if you haven't checked out my recent album called Songbook for the Soul, I'll post that in the comments too. It's basically a collection of affirmation songs. So please check that out. Anywho, thanks for tuning in, y'all. If you have any final questions before I jump off here, please write them. Or if any of this resonated with you, please share like what part resonated with you, because I always like to hear feedback. And yeah, y'all are awesome out there. I know there's tons of crazy stuff going in the world, and I feel like it's important for each of us to just find like, how can we make a small difference? How can we contribute positive, good energy to the world? How can we make small changes in our daily life to, and that's another thing I'll say. I don't like to like write notes really. I mean, I do like to write notes. I love writing notes. But for my videos, I kind of just like to have a general idea and just get in the flow and start sharing. So like one thing I wanted to say is that the reason why this information is so important is because we can't just keep consuming fucking at the speed that we are. Like our society is devouring the earth. if everyone lived and consumed as much as as the average American, we would need like at least 5 planets worth of resources. So like we need to scale it down, and what we need to realize is that the true things that we're craving aren't usually material objects. I mean, obviously we need basic material things, but like I feel like what we're really craving is like connection with the infinite, connection with creativity, connection with people, connection with like direct experience, feeling fucking alive. And none of that comes from, most rarely does that come from like buying a new gadget or something. I mean, those things can be cool, but we need to realize that like if we tap into those raw experiences, that's what I believe what we're really craving, or that a lot of us are needing more of in our lives. So I invite you to try and seek out those experiences, connect with nature, exercise vigorously, feel fucking alive in your body, dance, listen to good music, do things that make you come alive. That is how to live a fulfilling life. It's not through fucking watching CNN 24 hours a day and eating McDonald's. I can promise you that. So, anyways, y'all, thanks for tuning in. And yeah, if you ever want to connect with me or ask me a question, just hit me up on Messenger. I don't always answer automatically, but I mean, instantly, but I try to always get back to people eventually. So, scoobly doo, have a great evening, and yeah, keep trying to make small changes in the direction you want to go in, and before you know it, you'll end up in a magical place. That's the message for today, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.